big thanks to Polar Grilli for sponsoring this video.
I may have found a way to make a steak extra crunchy. As you know, I tried every trick in the book so far to make steaks better, especially to get that crust on the outside and make it absolutely beautiful and delicious. Now, my methods over the years have been a bit out there. I remember we even injected a steak once with ketchup, which is a really bad idea. However, some ideas are better, and I believe this one might just be a really good one. So, I got this, and look at it. What a beauty. A lot of intramuscular fat, and that means a lot of flavor. So these are gonna be the perfect steaks for this experiment. This is a beautiful ribeye from the Aberdeen Black, and it's well known for its sweet, beefy flavor. And it's what I consider to be close to the perfect steak. I'm gonna cut this roast up into steaks, about 2 fingers thick. That will guarantee a big, juicy steak. Before I'm gonna grill this beautiful steak and show you my trick, I'm gonna fire up our grill. This is the Polar Grilli. It's a wood fire grill, and it's absolutely perfect for cooking steak. It's like a wood fire steak machine. All these tools you can use to cook the perfect steak. Let me show you how by starting up the fire. I'm going to use some bark to start a fire. This ignites very easy and contains a lot of oil. Next I'm going to stack up some kindle. Then I'm going to light it up with my torch, and that's how you start an all-natural fire. While the wood is burning down into embers, I'm going to slice into my steak. I'm going to take this long, sharp knife and run it across the steak. And I'm going to repeat that process every ½ centimeters. And once I got the whole steak sliced up, I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and I'm going to do the same thing. Now I created all of these cubes that are sitting on top of my steak. Of course, I'm going to do this on both sides. And as weird as it looks, this might be a genius move. You might see me do this before because I like to use this on my picanhas. I cut into the fat cap, thereby increasing the surface, which let the fat render down more easily. It's been practiced for years and years in Brazil, so it's a proven concept. And now I'm taking it to the next step. I'm applying it to this steak, and it really, really looks good. Now, of course, salt is a big part of the process because you want it to open up and you want the surface to maximize and the fat to render. So in this case, I'm stepping away from my beliefs of seasoning your steak afterwards, and I'm gonna season it up front and get that salt in between the cuts. During the cooking, a lot of that salt is gonna fall off and render down, but in the process, we're gonna get a crunchy, delicious steak. Once I got all my steaks sliced and seasoned with salt, I'm going to put them in my clamp. I'm going to stick in a thermometer, and this is the wireless thermometer from Meter. It's the perfect thermometer for this situation because I'm setting this besides the fire. And this is the only way to measure the temperature that my steak is experiencing. Whoa! Can't wait for these to be done. This is going to be so tasty. Now, this is the coolest part of this. I'm going to set this grill grate next to the fire, and then I'm going to let these steaks slowly get up to temperature. It's almost like indirect cooking in a regular barbecue, except we don't have a lid here. Now that doesn't mean we can't cook steaks indirect, because as you can see, it's not sitting over the fire, it's slowly coming up to temperature. And once they hit a core temperature of 52 degrees Celsius, I'm going to take them off, let them rest. Then we're going to get to the good part. The steaks are ready to be taken off the grill. And you can already see that they lost a lot of their salt. But the meat started to open up like a flower. So I'm going to take these off and let them rest. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to make a sauce to go with that. Starting off with 300 grams of pickled jalapenos, a tablespoon of chili flakes, and if that wasn't enough, a teaspoon of Tabasco hot sauce. I'm going to blend that all up into a smooth puree. To make sure it's spicy enough, I'm going to have my trusty assistant try it. The redness in his face says it all. It's plenty spicy enough, so now it's time to mix it with 5 tablespoons of mayonnaise and 1 tablespoon of our hot sauce. All it needs now is 1 more pinch of salt. It can do with a little bit more hot sauce. I set a cast iron skillet direct over the fire. This is screaming hot. I want to add some beef tallow to this and let that melt. So I'm building a pool of fat. That's gonna allow me to fry the outside of the steak. Of course, you want to be careful when doing this because there's a lot of wet juice from the steak that's going into hot oil over direct fire. So if you're unsure of this, then don't do it like this. Just take the safe route. Take a pan, for instance, over the fire. Well, there we go. Steak going in. I'm trying to build up the crust as much as I can, flipping the steak around and around in the hot beef tallow. And this is starting to look like the perfect steak crust. This worked out so much better than expected. Insane, just listen to this. That noise alone, it's insane. I double fried the steak, so I fried it one side, flipped it over, and then went back again for the double fry. And now the outside crust, it looks so crispy, and the steak turned out so juicy, so tender, and now also so crispy. You can't get results like this by just cooking it in a cast iron pan. It's not the same thing. Opening it up exposes it to much more, so much more crispiness. It's like unlocking the secrets of all secrets to a crispy steak. And then, drenched in my special sauce. Let's try.
This makes me happy.
What? This is the best steak I've ever eaten. It literally is.
I don't even know what to say. This is insane.
How are we going to call this? Is this like the sponge effect? It's so tender, but also so juicy.
This is legitimately the best thing I've ever had.
Yeah, but how are we going to convince the people at home this is
the last video.
this is the last video?
After this, no more videos.
Yeah.
I just fulfilled my life sense? Life purpose.
Purpose. You can't find the words.
I can't find the words. This is the perfect steak. This is it. And with that being said, I think you should get out of the screen. Leave me alone with my steak.
Can I
No,
walk that way?
No, you walk that way. Step back, slowly. In the meantime, you can check out this next video. It's freaking awesome. It can't be as good as this one though, because we got the beautiful steak. And we showed you how to do it, so. But, you know, if you're just have a little time left, maybe check it out. And while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up in the comment down below. Big thanks to the patrons and the YouTube members. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then,
Eetsmakelijk!
and keep on eating steak.